Omega now has the ability to create groups of groups or nested groups by using the same group and ungroup commands as previous versions of Omega. So for example, here we have 3 lines of objects. This was previously text that was converted to objects, so it did maintain its previous grouping. If I were to select all of these groups and then go to the Arrange menu and then use the Group command, of course I have a single entity that selects at the same time. In previous versions of Omega, if I ungrouped, it would ungroup this entire thing into the individual components. But now in Omega 6.5, you notice that it restores the previous groups. This can make it easier to arrange and organize your jobs into meaningful groups. So for example, if I have my 3 lines of groups and I want to put a box or a border around this, I can go ahead and add my border and then select all and then go to Arrange and Group. And now I have this all moving as one big entity. But now when I go to Ungroup, I can go to Arrange and Ungroup, and I can get to the individual object and move it. It gives you another level of organization that wasn't previously available. One thing to be careful of is if you have a large group, so I'm going to press F6 to group this job. If you do use your color pointer, the color pointer respects your combines as opposed to your groups. So be careful if you do group something but you're in your color pointer, it will allow you to break it apart based upon your combines as opposed to your groups. So you notice if I go back to my regular pointer and I click, it did once again select the entire group. So just something to be aware of and be careful of. If you do have a large group and you wish to break it down into all of its subcomponents, there's a new command in the Arrange menu, Ungroup All, or Alt plus F5. And instead of breaking it down into the next lowest level of groups, it does break it down into each individual component. So I'm just going to undo this so I have one large group again. And then we still have the Control key. So if you hold down the Control key and click on an item in a group, it does select one individual component, giving you the ultimate in control over selecting and moving items. Another interesting point to note is the use of the Control key and regrouping. So I have one large group selected here. If I hold down my Control key and just select the 1, 2, and 3, and then go to Arrange and Group that, I have a new group that consists of 1, 2, 3, and my previous group that has all the other components of my previous group except for the 1, 2, and 3. If I ungroup the other component of the group, I'm going to press F5 to ungroup, you notice that it still respects my subgroups except for the 1, 2, and 3, which are now in their own unique group.